All right, so hi everyone, and today we're going to do a EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique tapping. We're going to start with a brief introduction to what tapping is so that I can show you the basic moves that you'll be making because you'll be tapping on your body. And I apologize that there's no image of me. My camera's not working right now, so appreciate you hanging in there. The theme of today's tap will be diffusing stress in pandemic times. And particularly, I last week began just sitting with the question, what's mine to do? So there seems to be so many fires everywhere or so much going on that it's hard to know where to put our attention and what we can do to help ourselves and to help other people. It's easy to get pulled out of the center and not be able to listen to that deep, quiet voice of inner guidance that's available to us when we're available to the voice, when we're available to our souls. Well, I'll introduce tapping. We'll do a little guided meditation just to ground and center, and then go on into the tap. And I'm going to skip my bio because everybody here knows me already. So just to introduce tapping, now this is when it would be really helpful if you could see my image. So anyone who's familiar with tapping, if you want to be the demo person. So we're going to begin by light tapping on your upper chest. So go to your top rib, between the collarbones and the top rib, and just tap in circles on your inner chest. And take a deep breath. And exhale through the mouth with a sound. An audible sigh. And when you make sound, it's really helpful. You can even feel your energy coming down into your body. And honestly, if you just did this for 5 minutes, you'd feel better right away. So just tapping on these points on the upper chest are emotional reset points. And I want to emphasize that you don't have to tap hard. You can tap very lightly because we're going to be doing this tapping for an hour or so. And so, you know, you can lighten up on how you tap on yourself. Otherwise, it can get tiring. So this is the first point that we do, this emotional reset. And again, deep exhalation, audible sound. And so the next points we're going to go to are going to be the bottom rib. So this is in the center, so it would be just below the nipple line. Tapping on this point, and yeah, there you go. I see people doing really well. Robert, it's a good demonstration for anybody that wants to find those points. Go down to the bottom rib though. Down to the bottom rib. Yeah, I think Wendy's there. There we go. And then go to the under the armpits, on the ribs. So there are two ways you can do this. If anyone, yeah, that's one way that Robert just did, crossing his arms. For some people, it's much more comfortable to do it the other way, where your elbows are sticking out like wings. You choose what's more comfortable for you. And you can vary it. It's also perfectly fine to just do one hand at a time. You don't have to do both hands. Keep it comfortable for your body. So tapping is really effective, and it's also really generous. And your next point to go to is going to be the base of the wrist. So if you were to Yeah, maybe Wendy, if you could hold your hand up, because you've done this before, and just show those points at the base of the wrist, kind of face your wrist toward the camera. There you go. Okay, so this is the next point, and you can take your first three fingers, and just tap across. There's a couple of wrinkles in there, and this is because we're tapping on acupuncture meridian endpoints. And we don't have to be super precise because we will still be in the territory. So the next point is going to be, if you had a karate chop hand, if your hand was like you were going to chop a board, so the bottom part of the pinky finger is going to be toward the earth and your thumb's going to be toward the ceiling, and you went chop like a karate chop, then your next point is going to be to tap on the base of the thumbnail. The thumb, yeah, that's toward the ceiling. And if you can see Wendy's photo there, she's tapped with me before, so she knows. It's pretty simple. Don't worry about it if you feel like you're not quite getting it right. You can always continue to tap on the points that are comfortable for you. And then go to the index finger and tap on that same point. It's where the nail bed meets the flesh on the top side, so it would be the ceiling side. Remember that big exhale. The next point is going to be middle finger, same point where the fingernail meets the flesh. And then we're going to go to the ring finger, and this is the one finger in all of these finger tap points that's the other side of the finger, so it's the floor side or the earth side of that finger. This is the ring finger. I believe that this is stomach meridian. So again, you're tapping where the nail meets the flesh on the earth side, bottom side, if you had a karate chop. And then back to the pinky finger, we're going to tap on that same point we initially tapped on, all the other fingers, so that the ring finger is the only rebel in the family. All the other fingers you tap on that same point. So big exhalation. And you may find yourself yawning. That's a really good thing. If you're yawning, it means that your nervous system is starting to reset already. Some people are yawners, some people burp a lot. Just let that come, let the body process how it needs to. And then come to the karate chop. So that would be the bottom part of if you had a karate chop, your hand was vertically, thumb facing the sky, and the bottom of like below the ring finger, the bottom side of the hand, what you would chop a piece of wood with. Tap on those points with your fingers, 3 or 4 fingers, and you can see what Wendy's doing. Thanks for stepping in, Wendy. You've become the proxy for the visual. Okay, then go to the top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. It's tapping on, we have tons of points here on the head. When you're tapping on the back of the head, the lower part, you're tapping on the primitive brain, the instinctual brain. So that can be really helpful for stress or anxiety. Calming down. And then come to the brow point. So where the eyebrows meet the nose, you can take 1 or 2 fingers. And again, you can tap on one point or both sides, just where the eyebrows meet the nose. Big exhalation. And then to the temples. And then the cheekbones. So this would be midpoint under the eyes. And then below the nose, so between the nose and the upper lip, there's a little divot there. Little. And it's okay to use one hand, or just, I usually use 2 fingers on one hand. And then below the lip, so between the lip and the chin, again, in that little dimple, indentation, that space. And I usually just use 2 fingers for this. Again, you can't do it wrong. Do what's most comfortable for you. And I'm burping already, so here we go. So come back to the upper chest, tapping in circles around your chest, and we've done 1 round. Great, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we're gonna pause here in the tapping and do a brief grounding and centering guided meditation. So feeling your feet on the ground and your hips on the chair, wherever you're sitting. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth. And with each exhalation, feel free to breathe through the mouth again, making sound that can be really grounding. It releases a lot of pent-up energy if you're feeling the need. And come down from your head into your heart center. Just check in, feel sensations. Come into your upper belly. Your lower belly. Your pelvic bowl. So take a moment to really feel the sit bones, the hip bones, sacrum, and tailbone, and pubic bone. So we're just locating these landmarks, the bony structures of the bowl, this big pelvic bowl. And then sensing into your legs. Let's enter in through the bones now, the femurs, if you can, or just sensing your legs, the lower legs, bones of the feet. And with the next exhalation, imagining that you're sending roots down, down, down into the earth. Sending your roots down. Keep following your roots, imagining the sensation of burrowing through the earth. This is energy moving through matter. Because it's energy, it can just burrow right through. You might even get a sensation of zooming, of movement, down, down, down into the earth. Just like the roots of a giant tree reaching into the earth for nourishment, to anchor in. So at some point as your roots go down and down, you'll find a place where you can settle. It can feel like dropping an anchor. It can be anywhere amongst the stones, the rocks, the crystal kingdom, the fluids in the earth. And if you'd like to go even deeper, if this feels good to you, trust what feels good to your body, what feels settling, what feels calming, what feels steadying. And you have the option of going into all the way down into the outer core, of the center of the earth, of Gaia. The Great Mother, sacred feminine, sheltering energy. And the outer core, you can imagine that to be a field of orange, red, orange, and yellow liquid earth, magma, liquid metals, minerals, all these materials, all the building blocks of life on Earth, the planet herself, the plants, and the animals, including us, the physical matter. That allows our souls to take on human form. So inviting with your breath and with your imagination, movement of this red, orange, yellow energy up through your roots, nourishing, nurturing earth energy, coming up your roots, through the earth, all the different layers of the inner earth, of the material realm, coming through the earth into your feet, particularly into the bones of your toes and your feet and ankles, and moving up through the shins and calves, bones, the knees, the thighs, the femurs. Red, orange, yellow, nourishing, nurturing earth energies into the pelvic bowl. So into your sit bones, your hip bones, just the bones themselves, the sacrum, tailbone, pubic bone. We want to invite in a big vessel of steadying earth energy. So the bones of our bodies are a power center, and they're a power center for steadiness. This is where we can tap into steadiness in the midst of all the change, all the chaos, all the unknown, all the waves of information and misinformation. It's coming into the steadiness of the bones. And let's give ourselves the gift of filling up this pelvic bowl with this energy of steadiness, and particularly relying on the bones. Just drinking it in like you were drinking a smoothie in the morning. Just this is nurturing, nourishing earth energy coming right into the bones and the pelvic. Pelvic bones have a lot to do with our ability to move forward, connecting us to our legs, our abilities to stand straight, our connection to the spine. So we're going to bring this sensation of steadiness all the way up the spine. Behind the heart, to the collarbones. So going out through the collarbones to the shoulders and down the arms and the lower arms and the fingers. So just sit for a moment, focusing on the sensation of steadiness. This is nourishment, nurturing, nourishing earth energy. Steadiness. Our bones are the least movable parts of our bodies. They hold that steadiness, that space for us. Nurturing, nourishing earth energy. It gives us life. So our bodies really love to tune in to this earth energy. It's a gift unconditionally provided for us. And by bringing your conscious attention, your soul already knows how to do this and longs to do this, to get this nourishment. The soul is on a descent, the spirit coming into the body and into the earth. So you might feel a hug from your soul or for your soul, some deep affection and welcome. That steadiness, nurturing, nourishing earth energy. Just keep receiving, letting it flow through you and around you, fill you. There's an infinite supply, so you can take it drop by drop, or you can take a steady flow, whatever feels good to you, but go at your own pace. And you might feel yourself, where you're seated, you might feel yourself a little heavier in the hips, a little more grounded, a little closer to the earth, connected to the density in a really healing way, nourishing way, nurturing way. And as you feel well seated in your hips and in your lower body, you can place your hands, if you'd like, over the navel area, the dantium or the hara. And breathe in life force energy, or prana or chi, from the earth, from the trees, from the flowers and the grass, from the sky, from the sun, from the stars, the clouds. Bringing it all into the center in the hara, life force energy that's vibrant and well. So even though there is this viral pandemic, very active right now, it's active within the field of vibrant life force energy. So we're just tuning. So every cell of your body and every fine hair that grows on your body, little antenna can just tune into the vibrant life force energy that's always here, that sustains life. And the virus itself being a very small part of that. It's large in our consciousness right now. It's large in our thoughts and shared conversation, shared experience. We're just bringing in a lot of space to let it be something that will pass. It's active right now. It's not here forever. So many things. We've already lived through so many things that have come and gone, just like we are coming and going, and our breath is coming and going. And take another minute or so to be in this energy and really sense it. And then as you're ready, you can open your eyes and we will go into the tap. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start our tap together. And just for people, again, who are new to tapping, we're tapping on acupuncture meridian endpoints. So the acupuncture meridians originate deep in the body, in the organs, and they also then come to the surface of the body. So the places we're tapping on are where the meridians are close to the surface. And I've asked that just because, Wendy, I hope you don't mind me picking on you, but because you've tapped with me before, that you can look to Wendy's screen if you want. Is that okay with you, Wendy? If you want to see where the positions are, since my camera is frozen. So, okay. And if you need a little drink of water, a little can be helpful sometimes to shake out your arms or legs if you want to. That feels good. So, okay. So we're going to start on that upper chest, that emotional reset points, and find a couple of tender spots there. So poke around. If you between the collarbones and the top rib, usually if you kind of pull, massage around in there, it's pretty easy to find a couple of tender spots. So once you've found those, then make little circles. You don't have to push really hard. You're just making little circles with your thumbs, massaging them. You don't have to, you're not really like tapping at this point as much as just massaging with our thumbs. You're not trying to massage it away, you're just activating those points. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Again, exhaling through the mouth with sound. I can't overemphasize how helpful that is to go ahead and make the sound. It's really sound healing. The sound helps move the energy through the body. So I'm going to speak some words. We're going to dialogue with our bodies, which is dialoguing with the subconscious. And if the words that I say aren't true for you, then change the words. You're going to repeat after me, changing the words as that serves you. So if the words I say don't resonate for you at all, then just change them to what does, because we're working with your subconscious, your emotions, those buried feelings, those thoughts that keep popping up. And I can't know or name everybody's particular thoughts or feelings. So I'm going to be in the ballpark intuitively, and you refine it. And you'll feel it somatically. You'll feel a sensation in your body, the language that's been running through that subtext, that voice that always talks to us. Okay, so we're going to start with just massaging the upper chest. Even though, and then you would say, even though the world is in a scary place right now, I love and accept myself. And if that feels like a stretch, then you say, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And if that feels like a stretch, you say, I'm open to possibly someday, maybe kind of sort of loving and accepting myself. Just go with what feels true in the moment. No judgment whatsoever. You'll get more better results by speaking whatever that truth is, even if it feels like a dysfunctional one, or you want to judge it, or you wish it was different. Okay, even though things are not normal, I deserve kindness and gentleness. Even though things feel out of control, and no one has an answer, I'm giving myself permission to be grounded and centered anyway. Okay, so let's go to the brow points here. I'm meeting myself with kindness. Bringing kindness to this part of me that feels scared. This part that feels anxious. This part of me that feels out of control. Come to the temples. It's understandable that I feel upset. It makes total sense. Everyone feels upset right now. A lot of people on the whole planet feeling upset right now. And then go to the cheekbones. It's possible that some of what I'm feeling isn't even mine. Under the nose. What if I'm feeling other people's feelings? Under the lip. What if I'm feeling the collective feelings of the whole world? Of all the worried and hurting and scared people in the world. Let's go to the upper chest. We are tapping in circles around the upper chest. I'm giving myself permission to only feel what's mine to feel. It's not helping me to feel everyone else's stuff. It's not even helping them for me to feel their stuff. So let's go to the bottom rib under the nipple line. I'm ready to surrendering the suffering of all people to the higher power. So you can use whatever word works for you, to God, to the universe. Surrendering all this suffering that I can't do anything about. Under the arms, on those side ribs, I'm calling in the higher powers of the universe to hold the bigness of all of this, the overwhelm, the too muchness. All that I can't hold. I'm giving myself permission to surrender now all that I can't hold. all that heaviness that's been weighing me down. And let's go to the wrist points. There's tapping your 3 fingers along the base of the wrist. So much is out of my control. This is so big. Go to the thumb point. Honestly, pretty much everything's out of my control. So you can just use a finger to tap on the base of the thumb. You can do it however it's comfortable for you. And if you've already done tapping before, you may have your own system. It's fine to follow that. So much is out of my control. And go to the index finger. And it's understandable that when things are out of control, a part of me wants to control things. That's the strategy I've used in the past to keep myself safe. And go to the middle finger, and sometimes it worked. So middle finger, and sometimes it didn't. And it's not working now. And it's exhausting. So I don't know about you, but I'm getting chills and shivers and goosebumps all over my body, which tells me that something is really changing, and I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful to know that I don't have control over all of this. That it's not mine to control. That I can just take care of me and what's right in front of me. The people who are in my life. I can put one step in front of the next. I can tune into the steadiness that's available to me from the earth. And I can embody this steadiness and this feeling of being supported. Let's go to the bottom of the ring finger. I'm bringing kindness to myself. Slowing this all down. Slowing down my reactions. Let's go to the pinky finger, big exhalation. All that anxiety is so speedy. Panic is so speedy. Let's just tap on panic right now, panic. So go to the karate chop point. We're doing what's called turbo tapping. So all the panic. All the panic. For me, it helps like, move around, stick out your tongue like, the panic. And come to the top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. Panic, 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 panic. Blah. Panic, panic. Ugh. All these panicky feelings, all this nervousness, all this panicky feelings. Speeding me up. Come to the brow points. It's hard to stay grounded when I feel panicky. Go to the temples. Panicky feelings. They're so exhausting. Cheekbones, and they're not really helping me. because my house isn't on fire. I don't need to do anything immediately. What I need more than anything else, and you can fill in the blank, what I'm going to say is to be centered and grounded and feel protected in my body right now. Under the nose. I'm bringing kindness to that part of me that feels so scared, so panicky, so anxious. Under the lip. I'm bringing in that steadiness from the earth. That nurturing, nourishing earth energy, that steadiness is still available for me. Tap around the upper chest. And that panicky feeling blocks me from receiving the support I need. Maybe that panicky feeling isn't helping me right now. Even though surely it wants to. So bottom rib, I'm bringing love and protection to this place in me that's generating all these panicky feelings. Bringing kindness. Acknowledging that there was a time in my life when these panicky feelings might have kept me alive, alert, and safe. Going to the side ribs. And I'm expressing my gratitude now that I survived those times in the past when I felt panicky and scared and unsafe. Ah. Let's go to the wrist point. It's possible that a part of me is still living in that time in the past. And that's completely understandable. Because that is how the nervous system works. So go to the thumb point. I'm bringing kindness to this part of me that feels so stressed out. Maybe it's safe in this moment to relax anyway. Index finger, part of me wants to stay on guard. And while I appreciate this protector part of me, I also know that I need to receive safety. Let's go to the middle finger. I need to receive steadiness, a sense of being cared for. In order to do this, bottom of the ring finger, I need to be really kind to myself right now. Even to that part of me that still feels panicky. and doesn't even want to slow down, doesn't even want to be calm or centered or grounded. Go to the pinky finger. So if we gave that part a voice, this is what's coming, and use your own words, but this is what the voice is, what I'm hearing. I can't calm down. I don't have time. I can't calm down. There's things I need to do. There's no time to breathe. There's no time to be steady. There's no time to ground into the earth. This part of me really believes, and go to the karate chop point, that it's helping me now. And I'm so grateful to this part of me that wants to be helpful. I know I learned this pattern for a good reason. I learned to panic when things got intense. And I'm so grateful that knowing that helped me live through those times. I'm grateful to this part of me. So go to the scalp, the top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. I'm grateful to these parts of me and the parts of my instinctual brain that are working so well at generating panic and anxiety. They're really functioning so well. If what I needed right now was to be panicky and anxious right now in this moment while I'm sitting here tapping in a safe environment, my feet on the ground and my hips on the chair, I'm starting to wonder, let's go to the brow points, if my nervous system, this part of my instinctual brain, isn't operating from present time. Go to the temple points. It's very possible. Tapping on the points in the temples. Tap lightly. These are very sensitive places. It's possible that this instinctual part of my brain, or maybe it's my inner child, a hurt part of me, a wounded part of me, on the cheekbones, doesn't know yet that I'm an adult now. Under the nose, that actually in this very moment, on this day, I'm sitting in my own home, in my own chair, or sitting wherever you're sitting, in a protected space. It's safe for me to go under, so under the lip, it's safe for me to tap on my body and process all these feelings, somatic, the sensations in my body. So upper chest. So back to the panicky feelings. When I feel panicky, and I'd like you to finish the sentence, I'm going to give some examples, but when I feel panicky, my body feels shaky. When I feel panicky, I start breathing shallow. When I feel panicky, sometimes I hold my breath. And I love and accept myself. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even when I fall back into these old patterns. Let's go to the bottom rib. If I wanted to consciously generate feelings of anxiety and panic in my body, I know exactly how to do it. Under the arms, I can do this by holding my breath, by breathing really shallow. All those times I breathe really shallow. I'm just acknowledging how good I am at breathing shallow and holding my breath. Come to the wrist point, the base of the wrist. It's good to know that I have this skill and that I may be an expert at panicking. And I'm sure that that is very useful, because if I can turn my nervous system toward panicking, go to the thumb point, then it's also true that I can become an expert in becoming centered and calm and grounded, no matter what. Index finger, what? That's a crazy thought. It's possible that my personality thinks that it's impossible for me to stop panicking or being anxious. Go to the middle finger. Even though my divine soul might have a different plan from my personality. Bottom of the ring finger. It's possible that my divine soul chose a lifetime or accepted the invitation for this lifetime. Go to the pinky finger, where I would get training in panic and anxiety at an early age, wired into my developing nervous system, because there's a purpose beyond all this. I don't know about you, but I'm getting chills and goosebumps all over my body. Let's go to the karate chop point on the bottom of the hand. I'm bringing kindness and caring to myself. I'm meeting this scared place in me with compassion. Big exhalation, lots of sound. Yawning, shivering. Top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. I love and accept myself. And I'm curious to know why my divine soul would accept this invitation to learn anxiety and panic when it's causing more trouble for me now than helping me. Brow points. I'm starting to feel curious what I can learn from all this. Go to the temple points. It's possible that my divine soul desired to develop incredible skills under the eyes for being centered and grounded, even in the middle of a storm, even when other people are panicking, arguing, scared, getting sick, dying, suffering. Under the nose, all that suffering in the world. It's possible that I can help the most under the lip by being grounded and centered, grounding all those panicky feelings into the earth, giving all that anxiety and panic to the earth to be composted, surrendering all those, let's go to the upper chest, tapping in circles around the upper chest, surrendering all of those panicky feelings, all that anxiety, all that fear, all that worry, the shock, the feelings that I should be able to do more than I can. And just accepting this is where I am right now. Maybe I can step into the knowing that I'm not the hero. I can't save the world. I can't save my family. I couldn't save my family when I was young. I can't save anybody. And I'm giving myself permission to take that off my list. Let's go to the bottom rib. I'm removing save the world from my to-do list. I'm removing making everything okay for everybody from my to-do list. I'm removing feeling the suffering of others as if it was my own from my to-do list. Under the arms, I'm inviting myself to feel compassion for myself and for all who are suffering and for all who are panicking and anxious and fearful. And I'm calling in all those higher powers. And if you have a specific one you like to work with, I love to work with the guardians and keepers of the Akashic records. So they're the humpback whales. I also love to work with green Tara. Some of the people I work with really love to work with Jesus or the universe or a great tree or a particular star, dolphins, the Buddha. So calling on Archangel Michael, a protector figure in your life. Take a moment, you can even pause the tap if you'd like, and just sense into who can you call on in the unseen realms as a protective energy, protective force. Okay, so I'm calling in protection. We'll resume our tap into my home. I'm calling protection into my body and around my body. Let's go to the wrist points. And remember our beginning meditation where we rooted into the earth, where we came out of the head and into the body. I'm calling on protective energies into my body and around my body, and to surround the whole space, the room that I'm in, with protective energies of a magnitude that's beyond my own to create. Go to the thumb, base of the thumb. I'm calling in protective energies to surround my home, my apartment building, wherever it is that you're living. Protective energies, loving, benign, helpful, to help all of us in this field that I'm calling in to feel as grounded, centered, and supported as we will allow ourselves. I'm going to the index finger. I'm calling on my protective guides to remind me that I'm safe in this moment and that this protection is available to me. So let's go to the middle finger. So this is how it works. We're working in the imaginal realm. That means we're imagining protection all around us. We're also developing a working relationship with protector guides. So I'm coming from the place of, as an animist, my felt sense is that, and you can tap into, go onto the ring finger, that the trees have souls, flowers, the plants have souls, animals certainly have souls, that there's wisdom and consciousness, pinky finger, in matter. Your consciousness actually creates matter. There's consciousness in the earth. There's consciousness in the soil, in all the organisms of the soil. So karate chop point on the bottom of the hand. And I'm calling on the protective ones. Some of these consciousnesses are protectors. There's deities, countless cultures, countless deities over eons. That archetypes that are all, so we'll go to the top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head, that all can be allies or influences on my life. It's up to me to develop a relationship. So I'm calling on my protector guides to partner with me in helping me feel protected. Brow points, reminding me what safety feels like in this moment, in my body, I'm ready to receive now the sensations of safety in my body. Go to the temple points. So, I got a big burp. Safety. It's safe to be in my body and around my body. Cheekbones. It's safe for my divine soul to be here with me. Around my body, in my body, the cells of my body. Under the nose. This part of me that will live on when this physical lifetime is over. Divine soul is with me now, as well as my protectors and my personality. And I'm inviting my personality to rest in this benevolent, loving energy of my divine soul and my protector guides. Letting my personality, my ego, all the conditioned ways of thinking, being in the world, all the programs that we get from culture and family and religion. Let's go to the upper chest. That complex part of me that's my personality, that's developed in this lifetime on Earth. Just inviting this part of me to accept support from these very aligned, helpful powers. My divine soul and these protector beings that I've called in. Go to the bottom rib. And I'm expressing gratitude for these beings, for my divine soul, for this physiological sensation of safety that I'm feeling in my body now. Feeling my feet on the ground, my hips on the chair. Let's go to the side ribs. I'm open to the possibility that my divine soul accepted this lifetime, this invitation to this lifetime, base of the wrist, even though I had times of feeling panicky and anxious, and even though I might have been trained with those feelings very deeply, so they became habitual, they became my default mode. Go to the thumb. I'm open to the possibility that panicking and freaking out, feeling anxious, was meant to be a temporary strategy to help me survive. Index finger, it's possible that it's not helping me anymore. I'm getting chills and goosebumps all over. It's possible that it's not helping me in the present moment. Go to the middle finger. And I'm expressing such gratitude and appreciation for the workings of my nervous system. And what a great job it did helping me survive some very difficult, scary times. Bottom of the ring finger, and I'm open to the possibility that my divine soul had the wisdom and the insight and the compassion for me to have those experiences when I was young. Pinky finger as a way to get my attention. Go to the bottom of the hand, karate chop point, so that I would reach out for the opposite of panicky, so that I would long to feel centered, grounded, supported, connected with my body and my soul, and my helper guides. Top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head, so that I would long to feel safe, to feel protected, to truly know in every cell of my body that I am loved and cared for. And maybe my soul, my divine soul, let's go to the brow points, who's with me now. Go to the temples. Maybe my divine soul knew that if I felt scared and panicky and barely able to stay in my body when I was young, under the cheeks or on the cheekbones, that I would be launched, I would be attracted, compelled to do some really deep healing in this lifetime and make a lot of progress under the nose. And at some point in this lifetime, I would reach out deeply and prayerfully and somatically with every cell of my body under the lip for this feeling of being centered and grounded, connected with the earth, open to receiving nurturing and nourishing earth energy, the steadiness of my bones. Upper chest, it's very likely that my soul knew that if I experienced one kind of emotion in a very extreme or exaggerated way, that would launch me on a search to resolve the polarity. Bottom rib, so that I can feel safe, protected, grounded in my body, even when there's scary stuff going on in the world. I can know it's not mine to do. I'm understanding that the true nature of reality, and let's go to the side ribs, is uncertainty. My divine soul already knows this. I can kind of feel the joy of my divine soul that I'm even considering accepting this. Base of the wrist. Surely before I incarnated, my divine soul knew that this was going to be hard. And it has been hard. So I can check that off the list and go to the thumb. And it's possible that my divine soul had no real concept of what it would actually feel like to be here. And go through all of this. And even so, I love and appreciate my divine soul. So go to the index finger, and then the middle finger. And I'm calling in the gift. It's possible that I can become very skilled at being grounded and centered, even in the midst of uncertainty and chaos and lack of leadership. That I have leadership, my own divine soul. Bottom of the ring finger, my connection with the earth. Grounding and centering. Feeling protected. Pinky finger can only help. It's possible that if I just practice holding this space, I would say accessing it and holding it, feeling it in my body. What I mean by holding it is just feeling the physical, the somatic, the sensations in my body. Karate chop point, that I'm doing my part. That if I do this, it will help other people do this without me saying a word about it. Just by the energy that emanates through me and from me and around me. Top of the head, sides of the head, back of the head. I'm giving myself permission to feel these feelings. Grounded, centered, steady, connected to my higher self, my divine soul. Giving myself permission to feel all of this, to engage all of this, activate this for my own well-being. Putting the oxygen mask on myself and come to the temples and then the cheekbones and just showing up in the world, showing up in my home, showing up in my life, under the nose from a more grounded and centered place. Feeling protected. And I'm open to the possibility that this can become my new normal. Upper chest. It might happen today. It might happen a year from now, 10 years from now, another lifetime. No matter what the timeline, I'm headed that way. I'm resetting my compass to this adaptation of choosing to receive nurturing, nourishing earth energy, bottom ribs, steadiness in my bones, every time I remember. Every day would be great. And I'm grateful to myself and to my guides for supporting me in this tap today. Great. Okay, so let's come back into, see, can't tell if my camera's working or not right now. No, still isn't. Okay. So I want to talk a moment about kind of how all this came on. Partly just several people in the group I'm part of a meditation group with, and the idea started there to do a tap for the anxiety and all the feelings that everybody's feeling. And then I just happened to be in touch with a woman who's helping provide supplies for the Navajo Reservation, which is an underserved community. And so there's a link on my webpage. If you would like to make a donation, I'm calling it Pay It Forward rather than just like a free tap. And if you don't have, it doesn't feel good to you, you don't have the finances to send 10 or 15 or 25 or 3,000, whatever, but you know, whatever feels good to you, then pay it forward in a way that does feel good for you. And I know probably we're already doing that, but you know, that could be kindness or buying groceries for someone or whatever suits you. The day I donated $25 using she's got PayPal and she's got Zelle, so both of those links are on my webpage. Within about 4 hours, the masks were already delivered to the reservation. So that gives me goosebumps. You know, I love to be able to help when it's so direct and there's no money off the top for overhead and that sort of a thing. So that was the idea behind that. And then beyond that, I'd like to, if you need to go, it's almost 12:30, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to unmute everybody, or you can mute yourself if you want to stay muted, but I'd love to hear from anybody who'd like to share. And I want to thank Becky, because for some reason you're on the big screen here, and so I followed you for the tap. I mean, in terms of, you know, pacing and all of that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to stop the recording here so that anything anybody wants to share